Our Prime Minister announced in Glasgow, not Canada, but Glasgow, that he was going to put caps on emissions, oil and gas. And the world applauded, except for his own country. Climate change is happening. It's been around since the book of Genesis. But there was very little discussion of how to fight it. His only way to fight it is to hammer oil and gas. Canada, though, is a very cold country. We need oil and gas or natural gas to heat it. People need gasoline to go from job to job. And by him taxing oil and gas, it just makes the cost of living more. And we are going to have a huge increase in the cost of living. So the Prime Minister was over there with these elite people, and they didn't look at the alternatives. They didn't look at the ramifications of how this is going to impact people. Now, the island of St. Lucia in the Caribbean, it doesn't have a heating problem. Population 200,000. It was over there in Glasgow. An island off Africa, population of $1 million, doesn't have a heating problem. It was there. They don't understand what's going on in Canada, but our Canadian politicians should, and they don't. Instead, we have someone who doesn't like oil and gas and nuclear as our Minister of the Environment. So that's the first problem with it. They didn't look at the real alternatives to fighting climate change. The second problem is the way it was delivered, the hypocrisy of it. A huge Canadian jet, armed forces, was sent over to Scotland in advance. We've asked what it was filled with. We don't know. They won't tell us. Trudeau, of course, had his jet to go over. 230-some people from the Canadian government went over. What for? We don't know. 400 private jets in Glasgow. 20-some thousand delegates. 12,000 observers. Thousands more. All for what? This could have been done electronically. And, as I said, all we see are pictures of our Prime Minister swanning around with royalty, having a great time over there. There were no real hard discussions. This was all theater. But it was theater of the elite of the world trying to figure out how to subjugate the citizens. Canada is full of hardworking people, and they understand climate change. They would like to see a plan that deals with, perhaps, rising levels of water, deals with flooding, deals with the increased ferocity of forest fires. And cutting back on oil and gas is not going to do anything for that. All it's going to do is hurt the working people, the working citizens of Canada, and it's going to hurt Canada because our Prime Minister, swanning again around on the world stage, such a hypocrite. Do as I say, not as I do, because I'm flying around. It's not leadership. Leadership would be to discuss with Canadians the problem, discuss a number of options to deal with that problem, and then to make a decision. Instead of saying, I'm fighting it, and you guys are going to pay for it. The hallmark of a free society is independent press. And in Canada, increasingly, we don't have an independent press when the PMO pays many outlets to say what they say. This station is independent, it's free, and if you can contribute, please do so, because we want to stay on the air. We have people on this show who analyze the situation and provide facts that otherwise you would get in the press. So thank you, subscribe, you can contribute.